Hi everyone, and welcome back to Learn English with Christy. In today's video, we're going to be talking about modals of deduction. And these are the modals that express how certain or uncertain we are about something that is happening. So, if you're ready, let's go ahead and begin. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about modals, specifically modals of deduction and possibility. So what is a modal? A modal is a type of verb, it's actually called an auxiliary verb, that helps the main verb of the sentence with a function. So these functions might be possibility, advice, ability, permission, deduction, or obligation. But like I said, we will be focusing on modals of deduction and possibility today. So what this basically means is how certain or uncertain we are about something that we're saying. We're making a guess about something that's happening. So the modals that we'll look at today include must and can't, may, might, and could, may not and might not, and should. Before I start today's lesson talking about each modal, I do want to first do a little bit of a review of a modal. So when we use a modal in a sentence, something that you have to remember is that it stands with another verb, and that other verb is the infinitive, but we are not going to use to. So a correct example using a modal verb could be something like she might be late, or she should feel better tomorrow. So the first modal that we'll talk about is must. When we use must, we are certain or almost certain that what you are saying is true. Maybe 90 to 100% sure that what you're saying is true. So for example, if we say, he is sweating a lot, it must be really hot outside. Here you are almost certain that it's hot outside because of the evidence of his sweat. So you are certain. So here we would use must. So let's talk about the next modal, which is can't. Now this is the opposite of must. It's still certainty, let's say 90 to 100% certain, but instead of being certain that it's true, you're actually really certain that it's not true. So using a similar example, he is sweating a lot. It can't be cold outside. So it's a similar example, but just to show that difference in modal. Can't means sure or certainty that it's not true. Okay, and moving on, I'm going to now talk about three modals together. And these modals have a similar use. So I'm going to talk about may, might, and could, because we can use them interchangeably. And these three modals we would use more to talk about possibility rather than certainty, because it's more of a 30 to 50% possibility that what you're saying is true. So it's more of a guess. So for example, if we say something like, Mariam is late for class. Now we can use one of those three modals to show a possibility of why Mariam is late for class. So for example, we could say something like, she might be in traffic, she could be getting coffee, or she may be in the wrong classroom. These are all possibilities of why Mariam is late. Now we will look at might not and may not, and these are also talking about possibility, but in the negative form. So, for example, if we use that same example about Mariam is late for class, we can say something like, she might not come to class, or she may not feel well today. So again, these are just possibilities of why Mariam is late for class. So moving into our next modal, which is should. Now should is a little bit less certain than must, it's not 100% sure. But it's more certain than may, might, and could. It's more than 30 to 50%. So we can use should maybe 70 to 80% sure or certain. Earlier, we used the example, Mariam is late for class. So let's say that we actually received more information. Maybe somebody talked to Mariam on the phone. So now we can say something like, Mariam is close, she should arrive soon. It's still a guess, so we can still use that modal, but it's more certain than using may, might, or could, but not 100% certain where we would need to use must. Okay, so now that we talked about all of the modals of deduction or possibility, let's go ahead and test what you learned. So I'm going to give you some sentences and I want you to choose the correct modal that belongs in the blank. So let's go ahead and do number 1. Henry runs and trains a lot. He blank be able to complete the 10-kilometer race. Which modal belongs in this sentence? What do you think? The answer here is should. You're not 100% sure that Henry can finish the race, but because he runs and trains a lot, that's evidence to show that he should be able to complete the race. You're 70 to 80% sure that he is able. Moving on to number 2. Mary didn't sleep at all last night. She blank be so tired. Which modal do you think belongs in this blank? What do you think? If you put must, you are correct. Here, Mary didn't sleep. So if you say that she must be tired, that's 90 to 100% sure. Anybody who doesn't sleep in a whole night will most probably be very tired. So they must be tired. And let's look at number 3. Where is the teacher? He blank still be in his office. Which modal belongs in this blank? What do you think? If you said may, might, or could, you are correct. It could be these 3 modals. And these 3 are just guessing. You're just showing maybe 30 to 50% possibility that he is still in his office, but he could be somewhere else. Maybe he's late today. He may be late today. He might still be driving to work. We don't know. So we could use either may, might, or could for this sentence. So how did you do on that quiz? Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe if you haven't already. That's all I have for you today. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.